What's good, YouTube? My name is Harris and you're watching another episode of BRG MX5. In this episode, I remove all the AC components, not just the accessory belt, but actually remove every single piece of the AC system in the NA MX5 Miata, with the help of Greg, good egg roll. Man, your name is so weird. Yeah, from Greg's channel. So let's remove some stuff. I just remembered it was Good Egg Pro. So Greg, shout out to you. So I looked over YouTube and there wasn't any example of a right-hand drive full AC delete. So I will do my best in being what I believe is the first video, how to remove all your AC components on a right-hand drive MX5 Miata. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do the systematic way and just start from this hard line, and I'm just gonna loosen up all the bolts, or all the nuts and bolts that connect all the hard lines. I'm basically just gonna follow it like a breadcrumb trail, loosen whatever I find. And just to repeat, because you're dealing with a potentially harmful environment, harmful to the environment fluid/gas, it is always recommended to get your system purged by a professional. Now, I said earlier at the start of the video that I made a mistake and there's no more refrigerant in my system, so I know it is safe to undo these hard lines. So just be careful, get it purged properly.
Okay, I'm gonna try to remove all of these all these nuts and fasteners with not torque wrenches, with wrenches. People have done it with a monkey wrench, one of those adjustable ones where you just turn the little dial. I'm gonna attempt it with only wrenches, just so that I can give you the right dimension of spanner wrench. Okay, 17 in front, 14 at the back. Okay, well that failed already. I don't have a spanner big enough to fit on the low pressure line, so adjustable spanner it is. Oh, this is annoying.
Okay, cool, that's done. I'm gonna follow this high pressure line around to the top of the engine.
This black line I'm cutting here is the pressure line for the ECU, the Mega Squirt 2. And this other black line is my wideband O2 cable. Okay, and now just looking at it, there are, looks like 10mm bolts on the firewall to remove the bracket holding on to the hard line. Okay, following the hard line down into the intake side, there is one nut holding the bracket down here by the throttle body. Looks like it's a 10mm as well.
Don't need a socket anyways. And that's the bolt there. Okay, looks like the rest of them is underneath the radiator, so I'm going to take you downstairs. Take you downstairs. Let's go downstairs and see what's like underneath the car. Okay, following the skinny hard line down into here, there is a connection there, which we're going to remove. And we might as well remove the one in front of it as well there. But yeah, we'll just take that off. So it looks like the small lines are 17 and 14. Now before I pull this out, I'm gonna just close up that that hole there. I don't want any refrigerant coming out. I learned that because of Greg's mistake, so thank you, Greg, for letting me know. Oh no, there's another bracket that I'm forgetting. That bracket over there, underneath the fuel lines, I need to remove that as well. Okay, got that bolt out and the bracket out. I should be able to remove one hard line. Okay, I'd be lying if I said that that was easy. And I'd be lying if I said I pulled it out in one piece, because I did, but pretty sure it's not in the same orientation as what it was like in the car. So next step is to remove the condenser, not condenser, the I think it's the condenser and the dryer, but I think I'll remove the big nut here because this goes around and behind the radiator and attaches to some flexi tube, so we'll just do that first. Okay, there's a little bracket that sits behind here. I'm gonna remove that. Right, I'm just gonna tape up the end of that hard line. And I think that is all I need to remove from the condenser and dryer. So I'm going to try and take it out. There are 4 bolts. There's one there. There's one up next to the dryer, and then there's 2 more on the other side. And that's one of the bolts there. Just got 3 more to go. Hey, hey. So if you must know where I/Isaac made a oopsie is right in there. And we were doing the timing belt water pump change when we accidentally pierced that guy out of all the places. Alright, the next thing we got to remove is that big ass line here. And I might just take off the bracket first off the radiator before I do that. Woo. Okay, what I might do is I might leave the flexi lines hanging down here and remove the compressor last. I'll just get all the hard lines off first. Back at the top of the car, that's the next hard line we got to remove. I need to remove the compressor, AC compressor down here, so which means I need to take off all this intake stuff. So you see me do this before on another video, so I'll just do it really quickly. There's one bracket underneath there. And that's that one I can see underneath the power steering reservoir. Okay, that was a mission and a half. Trying to get that last hard line out, I actually had to cut it because on the right-hand drive anyways, there's that power steering line which attaches really close to my fan, and I had no way to go through the fan and the lower control arm, not low control arm, the sway bar there. So yeah, I don't think there's any way to keep hard line. You can see that's my hacksaw, and it's now in 2 pieces, but it's all removed. All the lines are gone. Now to tackle the compressor pump. Okay, I got the accessory belt off. I'm just going to put I'll put this guy back to make sure I don't forget him, and then I'm going to remove the power steering pump, which is on top, so that I've got access to the compressor at the bottom. Okay, so the power steering pump is over here. I'm gonna try to remove the compressor. So I think there are 4 big bolts I need to remove. There's 1, 2 here, then there's 1 in the front here where you got to replace with a shorter bolt, and I think there's 1 more on the bottom, but we'll just remove the top 2 first. Okay, looking underneath the car, it's just those 2 bolts over there. Do excuse the oily bottom engine. I think I'm leaking in the rocker cover gasket. Okay, I gotta be careful here. There's only 1 more bolt holding it in, and I think I've decided to pull it through the top because I have a bit more space here. Yeah, the power steering lines are in the way, so do my best. I don't think there's any way of it coming up through here, so I might route the lines from the bottom through the power steering hoses, and then maybe I can take it out from the top. I skipped a couple bits, but I ended up removing the lines to the compressor because there was no way for me to take it out without removing those, so I believe I can take it out from the top. Whew. Okay guys, I want to call it a night because it is 2 a.m. and I'm tired, so we're going to continue this tomorrow. Welcome back. This is the 3rd and hopefully final day of the AC removal. We're going to pick up where we left off. The compressor has just been removed. It's down there. Now we got to remove the compressor bracket, which is over there. Now you don't have to remove it, but it's going to be dead weight. Why not? To get it off, there are 4 bolts on the side here. One's hiding behind the top left lip, and then there's this oil bolt in front there where you need to remove and replace with a shorter length bolt. Okay, these 4 bad boys are going to be 14s. I need my big ass brake bar. Here's that front bolt, which will need to be replaced. These are big ass bolts. They're M10s. And that is the compressor bracket removed. You see all the crap sitting in that little ledge there, but effectively this removal is done. You can plug in the hard lines that go into there. Oh, obviously get the different sized belt, which is over here. I think it's this guy. Yes, it is this guy. It's the 4PK 855 PS. That means there are 4 ribs, 855 in length, and PS for power steering. Okay, now with all that removed, time to put it all back together. In a previous video I used the wrong bolt here to do my fix. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse the bolt at the front of the engine instead of the one that I put in last time. And that's the power steering belt done. Now if you're a cheap ass like me and you don't have the bolt and you want to drive it to get the bolt, this is the adjustment bolt that I took out from the front here, and I put an M8 flare washer and I'm gonna run this temporarily before I get an actual proper size bolt with proper nut end fitting. But yeah, this is not recommended, but we want to drive it, team. The intake is all back on, everything is wired together. Now it's time to start the car to see if anything's wrong. Just double checking that all my connections are tight and I haven't forgotten anything. I'll just start with the throttle body. I replaced my VTPS adapter with a aluminum one. That's tightened, that's tightened, that's tightened. Then touch the radiator. Ooh, I didn't plug this in. Ho ho! Cool. The connector for the AC compressor is unplugged now. The power steering bottle is locked down. I tightened all the compressor here, so that's tight, this is tight, those are tight. Got my oil bolt in and tight. My belt is tensioned. Temperature sensor plugged in. Okay, time to start it. This is why it snapped off. Okay, we'll try that again. The ground for the wideband is now fixed, and they're zip tied. Let's try start the car. And the grand weight is 14.2. I know it's a bit upside down, but yeah, 14.2 kilograms of weight reduction. That's 14 Ks I don't have to deal with anymore in my life.